Okay, hi, it's SnowyPadre again for the BarCraft League of Legends New Zealand season grand final that we're having, and this is Team Legit. We're talking to Jakattack, Gifford. How's it going?
Great, great, thanks.
Well, yeah. Okay, so we just got a couple of questions. We're just going to do a little bit of an interview to get some better insight on some of the top teams of New Zealand, and it's going to be super awesome fun. So the first question that we did for VGR as well, how did you get into League of Legends originally? Did you get in there from beta, or was it from a friend, or through Dota, or something like that?
It was mostly for Dota. One of my friends, actually, our support player, picked it up, and so I got it with him. And I thought it was a lot better than Dota because it was, less denying and trolling and leaving and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, a little bit more, a little bit less aggressive, a little bit more forgiving.
Not even aggressive, just more fun to not have to put up levers every day.
Yeah. It was really difficult. I played a couple of games of Dota when it was first released, and I just could not get into it. It's just so ragey, and so I don't know. That's my little insight on that. Oh yeah, you are actually from New Zealand. I got that from you before. That's okay. And I hear you're a very big part of the Australian circuit. Can you tell us a little bit about the Australian circuit and what part you play in that and the different teams involved?
Well, I'm top laner for a team called Exile 5. There are two Exile 5 teams. It's a big Australian esports organisation. It's got its own League of Legends division. So I play top lane for the A team. There's an A and B team, but they're both the same. And we're about ranked second and third in Australia.
Wow.
Big number one. Yeah, the big number one team's Team Immunity. You may have heard of the solo queue. They got something like 2,700 ELO players, 300 ELO players. It's pretty nuts.
Holy crap. What were you sitting at the end of Season 2? Was it 2,400, 25?
2,300.
23.
2,400.
That's pretty epic, though.
Yeah.
That is really, especially for a New Zealand player. So you've basically dominated the Australian scene, and now you're looking to dominate the New Zealand one.
Yeah, it's quite a lot easier as well, which is quite convenient.
As it comes in, yeah. With all of your Australian experience, how do you feel we are growing as a community for League of Legends in New Zealand?
Well, quite a bit in the Australian community, just looking at like the level of shit talk and all the other crap that you get in Australia. It's a lot nicer in New Zealand, and there's a lot more people showing up for the tournaments. Like you may have a tournament like the normal ones we have over here, where you get 16 teams, and then you have the same one over in Australia. You get 6 teams, and they'll show up whinging and crying and wanting prizes and crap. So it's nice to have people that actually play the game.
Yeah, people that are enjoying the game. That's great to hear about the scene and what you think about that. We're gonna totally one up Oz. That's our plan. That's what we're doing. What originally made you decide to form a team? Was it someone else, or especially for New Zealand, was it just a sort of whim that you came across?
Well, for New Zealand, I have friends in New Zealand, but can't play in my Australian team, so it's nice to play with them for one.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the prize money is actually quite decent comparatively to some Australian stuff, and it's online, so all I have to do is sit home. I don't have to fly over to Sydney and go to some LAN that lags with 10,000 ping, and the horror.
Oh, it's crazy. We're gonna try and get some lands over in Christchurch for you guys, maybe even Dunedin. I don't know. Well, we all meet in Queenstown.
Our team's split over the whole of New Zealand. We've got like people in Christchurch, Greymouth, Timaru, Auckland, just everywhere. So.
Oh yeah, I heard Christchurch. They were one of the first to get fibre, right? Is that going okay down there, or?
Our support's the one in Christchurch. I'd have to ask him, but given that I get better ping than he does, probably not that great.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm going to get a bit of fibre as well and start getting these streams a bit better as well. And a lot of the internet cafes up in Auckland do really quite well for ping. It's the standard for 130 ping, I think.
Yeah, I saw that in some of those games. But 130 ping would be amazing. That's actually in some places in America you get that better ping. So have it in New Zealand is amazing.
I talked to a bunch of the teams in some of the tournaments and asked them about their thoughts on how they would feel at like 16 ping or 32 ping or something like that, something crazy, and all of them just thought it would be insane trying to get used to that. The response rates are just so different.
From what I heard from the Australians who went to Korea for WCG 2011, it took them like one game. It's just better. There's nobody used, it's just better. So you just have one game, it's a bit difficult, then you go in and you're just better everywhere.
Nice. So it's pretty easy for the pros to get used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a big one for you. If you're open to answering this, it's not necessarily a champion that you have to play or that you see a lot of. But what is your favorite champion if you have one?
Singed. Easily Singed.
Overall.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's easy. He's my main. He's fun. You can make people so mad with him. He's just the best.
Oh, I love it when the whole team chases him. It's the most amazing feeling in the world.
Or just find him behind the tower, and the jungler shows up, and you kill him, and then you run around laughing, and it's just an orgasmic experience.
Have you got your laugh key bound to a macro? Or is it just sort of casual?
3 different macros, and I push them all at the same time.
Crazy. What are your predictions for the whole Season 3 thing that is going on right now? Overall, not necessarily for this tournament. I'll ask you that afterwards. But for Season 3 overall, do you have any insight on that?
Well, from what I've seen so far, there's a lot of like blatantly bad balance at the moment. Like Sword of the Divine,
Yeah.
3 crits in a row instantly. You play like any strong AD champion against to give anyone. That's dumb. But what to give items look more exciting, and the premium cost on a lot of them went down. So like you can get a Warm Ogs for 2,600 now. That's
Yeah.
a lot cheaper. A lot more item merges. So once you get past the balance issues, it looks like it's a lot more fun. Like for AP champions, more than AD, but yeah, a lot more fun than that.
Yeah, I saw
More
they did
options.
lower the cost on that BF sword, and I was like, well, what? It's still the same AD ratio.
Yeah, but the options are nice. But I think AP got a lot more options. Like that new thing that builds out of the mask, Leandery's Torment. That's strong. That's real strong.
Yeah, and especially some of the masteries, especially for Orianna, because if she grabs that spell sword mastery, her auto attacks just hit like a truck. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Do
for
not
one, it's
understand
pretty
it.
good.
Yeah,
But as far as I know, defense is the best tree at the moment. Defense has got so many stacking multipliers for
Yeah.
MR and upper that you can just become so strongly tank.
yeah. It's funny that
I've seen
they.
people go 0-30-0 defense.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that they have a lot more stacking on the defense tree, like you said, but they've also taken out things like nimbleness, so tanks sort of rely on getting those second level boots to get into fights and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's definitely far more useful than the old defense tree. Everyone went the support tree.
The bottom of the defense tree was like really bad, but the top had that reduced minion damage.
Yeah.
You get 2 things there. You take no damage from melee minions, like people do, so you can just tank melee minions for fun.
Yeah. Especially as Ale, which is funny, you run up into the middle of the opponents, you can easily CC them over, get them right into your ADC's face. And again, what are your, in tandem to this, what are your predictions through Season 3 for this final? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think people are going to be used to the items? Are you guys going to be used to the items?
Well, as you need to be. Like, as far as I've found, AD carry is sort of the same. And for the items, like, a lot of it just comes down to initiative. Like, you've got so many more options now, it just depends what you want to do. Like, some things are OP, but overall, no one's going to be rushing Sword of the Divine all every game.
Yeah. And I definitely will find it. It is a best of 5, by the way, if I'm not sure if you knew that. I hope all of you guys know that by now. But yeah, I'm going to find it really interesting to see if people go for very irregular builds that are coming in with this pre-season 3 patch, or if they try and stick with some of the old favorites if they really don't want to branch out into the new stuff, because a lot of the new stuff is kind of scary. I have been playing with a bunch of friends, and they specifically play games and specifically only buy new items just to see what happens. It's quite funny to see. There's a really cool one that slows as an AoE around the opponent when you hit them after an ability. It's quite cool. It's like a little, it's like a mini effect to a Sheen. It's quite funny.
Yeah, the first 2 tanks.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So how do you feel about your opponents? Here's the question where you can trash talk about VGR. How do you feel about them?
Fucking shit. In actuality, I think their team play is better than ours. If you look at the games we had that last tournament, but their individual skill levels are all lower, apart from maybe their jungler, who I consider their best player.
Yeah.
Like, if you looked at those games, like, every lane was out farming it. Like, they'd be doing roaming ganks and like warding everywhere and doing like teamwork based stuff. But our individual skill was so much higher that we'd out farm them and split push them into the ground. So
when they come in to gank you sort of know what's going on and you're ready to get out of that. But it is sort of tricky for them to be able to pull that off. Yeah.
Yeah.
GG Kevin, what does NNPTT stand for? Huh?
Yeah, he's just public embarrassment. That was one of our old teams, and I'm not going to say what NNPTT stands for. So
Was it very bad? Was it like full hentai from Wellington?
No, not quite. It was Nigga Nigga pulled the trigger.
Oh, that's all good. That's all good.
Yeah.
I'm okay with saying
Yeah.
that on the stream now. I'll probably stop doing that next year, but this year I'm keeping it cool. It's all straight. Whatever.
Yeah, no one important's going to see this. So, whatever.
Do you support any international teams specifically, or do you like me and a couple of mates when we were watching the World Champs? We kept on changing our thing to whoever was in the lead at the moment. We didn't really support anyone in particular, but do you follow and fully support anyone in particular?
Well, we have actually played against TPA.
Oh
And,
wow!
yeah, like, obviously we got smashed because TPA. But, like, just seeing them and their, like, the aggressive play styles and stuff, it's a lot more fun to watch the Asian-style teams than the Americans. Like, I used to support TSM, like, forever ago because, they were the only team. But now it's more towards the Asians like TPA and World Elite. Those sort of ones. It's so much more fun to watch.
Yeah, a little bit more crazy on the wild side. All that lane swaps, what the hell's going on? And yeah, are there any international plans for your team? I mean, I know you do Australia, but do you feel like going a little bit more forward with that? Or do you have any sponsors that are trying to get you to go global or anything like that?
Well, if going global is not about how much your sponsors push you, it's about how good your team is.
Yeah.
And as I said, we've played against like international teams like TPA, and we've done okay. Like we still got smashed eventually, but we've held out before. It comes down to actually just taking it one step further and actually beating them. That seems to be the problem.
I actually thought of a new question in regards to that because I watched an interview with Skara during the World Tournament, and he was like, it was very difficult for them and TSM to practice because a lot of the teams overseas are either not up at their skill level, or they're unwilling to practice because they don't want people to get a heads up on some of their strategies and things like that. Do you feel like that would be the same for New Zealand and Australia? Do you think it's very difficult for you guys to push your skill level upwards because you don't have those pro teams to verse? I mean, I know you're versed against TPA and you can probably get those things set up, but especially for other teams who don't have the privilege of getting in contact with teams like TPA, do you think they're still able to skill up and we have that potential in New Zealand?
Well, just because New Zealand and Australia is below the world, like it's no insult to say we're below the world standard. Like we're full of like people who are gold elo, for example. Like so for New Zealand and Australia, it's quite easy. You just queue up for ranked fives because like you'll be facing maybe some people who are like just some random group of diamond friends, for example. Like those random groups of people, and that's an easy way to skill up. Hey, for most people in New Zealand, solo queue still applies because that's still skilling up. New Zealand and Australia aren't at the level yet where it's sort of like, you have to be playing against pro teams to get better. It's still that sort of public level.
Yeah. That's what I'm very interested in following. Do you know how long the Australian scene has been running for? Is it 1 or 2 years?
It's been approximately, from what I know, like 1.5 years.
1.5 years.
It's only been officially coming together properly for like the last year, I believe.
Yeah. I was just wondering about that because it is generally big. Like there are big organizations behind it now. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly we can sort of catch up to that and how much better we can do it. New Zealand.
The Australian scene, actually, most of its tournaments are Australia/New Zealand. So.
Yeah. That's because it is a lot of what they say, and that's why we're trying to grow the New Zealand scene, because everyone from New Zealand is playing in Australia because there's nothing worth it in New Zealand yet. But we will most likely try and team up with Australia a little bit in that regard. Yeah.
The prizes are quite comparable from what I've seen, at least, which is quite nice.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And hopefully they'll keep on scaling up and up and up, and the tournaments will get bigger and better. We'll try and get stages and stuff on board and get you guys up in Auckland to do, or Wellington or Christchurch. I don't know. Maybe we'll down to Christchurch and steal your guys' fiber. That's a plan. Are there any pro tips for new teams coming into League of Legends New Zealand competitively, or even global, or even over in Australia? Do you have any tips for them trying to get out there?
Well, in general, from what I've seen from most of the new teams, like, it doesn't really matter how good your teamwork is. If you're like actually facing higher skilled opponents, they will just straight up snowball the game and beat you. So like at this point in time for like new teams in these sort of areas, it just comes down to getting better. Like there is no teamwork factor you need to really work on. It's just you need to improve as a player first. Like until you're around like I don't know 1600 elo region, you're not really playing the game properly. It's when you get there you can actually last hit and do your important stuff, and then you can learn to do teamwork and other things that you do as a team together. If you can't last hit, there's no point learning how to tank. Nice.
Okay, that's actually a really good and insightful little comment there. Well, that's really all for me. We flew through those rather quickly, but it was really cool and insightful. You're good at answering questions concisely and directly. It's very good. It's quite easy for me to get sidetracked when talking to people, like I'm doing now. Hey,
please get sidetracked. We've only been going for like 15 minutes. Need more sidetracking.
Is there anything that the community wants to ask over in the stream chat? Apart from trolls, which I know we'll just get a whole bunch of random replies going, do you even lift or something like that. That is not a real question. Although, do you?
No, not really. Yeah, because I'm that obsessed with my body image. Woo, yeah, because I play video games.
Sisty Sage says, Jack, will you have my babies?
Not quite.
Not quite. He's nearly there.
Functions to that. Don't quite have the bodily functions to do that yet, sorry.
Jack, how do you feel about getting raped by Team Flaccid? Okay, that's interesting. Team Flaccid.
That was a ranked 5s game.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it was my Australian team versus him. Or it was ranked CG later, some random medium of game. And they got destroyed, so that was about it.
Oh, yeah, and D-Mouse wants to get taught by you. He thinks you're awesome.
Yeah, well, naturally he does. Like, you know, there's a reason I pick up and get those scrubs in wins. Like,
oh yeah, that's another question I want to ask you, but it's more for overall. Would you ever be interested in trying to teach people in the League of Legends New Zealand scene to try and upskill people as like a prize to a mini tournament or a lower league tournament or something?
Yeah, that sounds pretty decent. I'm not sure how good my teaching goes. My only advice is get better, you scrub. But,
yeah.
But yeah, I can be constructive. I've done it in the past. I've looked at replays, done that kind of crap.
Yeah, we actually do get a couple of serious teams over here that are going through their replays and actively looking at what they did wrong. The skill level isn't necessarily that high, but it's cool that we see them doing that, and hopefully that'll continue moving on to other teams.
As a free gift after Sunday, I'll do it for VGR for free.
Yeah, we'll have that as a second place prize.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I will be for this stream overall. I will be trying to get some community plays together, and get teams facing up against each other and talking to each other about how they are growing as a team and how they can help each other grow as a team. And if we can, I don't know, we can do New Zealand versus Australia next time instead of Australia and New Zealand.
Oh, I go to Twitch chat. It's just all of my team just making up complete shit.
It's going complete crazy. Yeah, we're getting a lot of that on this stream. It's not too serious right now. Hopefully it'll grow. Let me know if you guys can help me grow this stream, because it's all for League of Legends New Zealand and a bit for random games. If you want to see any other game, just tell me and I'll see if I can pop on it for you. I will be playing StarCraft 2 for the rest of the day and showing you guys some mechanics in that. I bet everybody knows about it though, so it's mainly for people in BarCraft that go but don't really know much about the game. It's quite funny. Hopefully I can teach a few people there. Yeah, is there anything specifically that you'd like to add to the interview that you feel would round it out, or do you think we're done?
I don't know, like, I'd like to have more shit talk, but I can't really find an opening to put it in, so it's kind of horrible.
Trash that VGR.
Yeah, well, I don't know, like, I think we've got them figured out in regards to actual Sunday. Like, as far as their picks go, I've noticed a pattern that they're all the same every game.
Yeah, they're looking to change that up, but it's been interesting, especially players like Volf. Like, there are a lot of characters that he knows are legitimately good, and you know they stick a lot with Lisa and Morgana and Israel or Jace, but they are branching out and they are thinking of strategies that incorporate a lot of different champions. But we'll see if that happens. Like, Ra does amazing on Singed sometimes, but he's primarily a mid player, I think.
Yeah, because they're going to leave that open.
Yeah, they'll Instagram that one, I'm thinking.
Yeah. But like, they don't even have solid lane setups. They're just playing the champions they know how to play. Like, it's sort of like one of those lower things. But when we were playing those games, Veraxel was just saying, "Oh, I know what they're going to do. They're going to do this," and then we give them the screen and they've done it. He's going to go summon those spells. He's going to pick this champion. He's going to buy these items. Like, they've only got one strategy.
Yeah. But we'll see if they branch out, especially with Season 3 coming. They say they're going to practice quite a lot this week, because that's been one of their weak points. But we'll see if they come through at all, or we'll see if you guys completely trash them. It'll be fun to see. Will it be a 3-0, or do you think it's going to be a 2-1?
It might be a 3-1.
Maybe a 3-1.
I would highly doubt a 3-for-2 or even a 2-for-3. They might take a game off us, but it's just us throwing. Like, I don't think we can possibly lose to them unless we throw. I mean,
Yeah, I gotta say that Shen in the first game before was hilarious, just backdooring with Nocturne. It's great.
that is the power of Elo. That is how you hone the scrubs.
They were sitting there, they were like, let's get Baron. You guys were like, yeah, let's get turrets. Makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, well, when the only thing you know how to do is group team fight, there's quite an easy way to abuse that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of teams like. If you think that's the problem with VGR versus you, that's also a lot of problems with other teams versus VGR. So in your position versus VGR, it's a lot of their position versus other teams as well. That they're really good in lane and team fights compared to those other teams. But if you're saying that compared to you guys, they're doing really kind of badly in the laning phase when they're focusing on those team fights. They do go for that late team comp a lot of the time. But I think they're learning how to try and do hybrid. But yeah, they're very, very team fight centric, I feel.
Yeah, but like for example, game one, they went for the team comp, we went for laning. They got stomped. Game three, that's sort of irrelevant to what I'm saying. But game three, we picked for team comp. We picked an AOE team comp.
Yeah, and they picked for lane.
Still got wrecked.
Yeah,
but they still got wrecked. So it's just like that's what I mean, like the outskilling.
Yeah, that's why I was very surprised at that last game because I thought they were going to try and go for a more teamfight centric like they usually do because that's what they're strongest with. Not necessarily that they're super powerful with and they'll beat you with, but that they're strong with. And I feel like they went a little bit out of their comfort zone with that last game. But yeah, I'm super damn excited to see what happens for Sunday. There's one little more question actually that I forgot to ask. In terms of your team for New Zealand, it's very, very new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you sort of form the members for that?
Well, I went to high school with Kevin ZZ, and Chris Bliff.
Yeah.
And I met D-Mouse in some random forum like about a year ago, and I just signed up Rexel for the tournament without telling him, and then just told him after. So that's how we picked him up.
Oh, have you guys been mates for a while, or have you sort of met over the pro scene?
Us minus Veraxel have been mates for like a year or so. But Veraxel I met in the Australian LoL scene, funnily enough.
Yeah. He does have a little bit of a standing there, and Yunma got in there for a while as well, I think.
Yeah, we lost to Yuma's team actually at one point. Wow.
Yeah, he was a very strong player.
Yeah, sadly we went back over to Korea so he can go fight for their freedom, whatever he's doing.
And then come back here in 2 years and dominate the LoL scene. Fight for our freedom, come on.
Yeah, sort of. Then he comes back, has 100 more latency.
Yeah. Oh god,
Yeah.
I wonder if he will get any practice back there at all. Like if he'll be able to play with this other team. Because we were trying to get them, but they haven't been able to contact him for a while.
Yeah, it'd be a bit dodgy. I imagine they've sort of done together for at least the next period of time.
Yeah.
Which means we can steal his mid laner and, totally get him to play champions that push R and kill people.
Yeah, but the way that you guys have come together as a team, that's what I love about you and VGR, is you've got that parallel. You're not a you are a highly prepared team, but it's still in essence a bunch of random people that have sort of just met and it's sort of worked out. Like just grabbed a whole bunch of skilled players that you have a lot of fun playing with and you do great playing with. And
I wouldn't call my jungler and support skilled, but
oh no! Getting into that chat spam.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I wanted to see what he says in that Twitch chat. But yeah, sort of came together, but I mean, I have experience in Australia. I know how to, work the game. We can all just take that lead, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, just a lot more experience than what VGR has had, which is, it's showing through a lot. In games
they had the chance to have the experience. These tournaments are all open to Australia and New Zealand. They just choose not to go on them.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow.
Yeah, there we go. GG Kevin going, fuck you.
Team
love.
He's terrible.
Yeah, not even a good comeback. Come on, man. What you doing? Yeah, even I'm saying it now. I've known you for 14 years.
14 years. Yeah, I was 3 years old. No thanks. Yeah, 'cause I'm 17, so I'm still a kid. So there we go.
Baby bromance. Cool. Well, I'll see you a bit later. I'm going to write up some team bios for tomorrow and the day after, and then we're going to go into those games. We're going to start up at 1 p.m. on Sunday. We might just do a little bit of a build-up for the games, but hopefully all of you guys have no issues with your computers at all, and you've all set up your macros. Everything is your key binding, sorry, macros.
Oh,
but,
that's been better. I got a new computer now. Like, I was running at like 30 frames.
That is wicked.
So now I'm running on like 100 and some billion. So it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be automatically over. Now I can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure VGR are going to have a little bit of computer problems, so we'll see how they go. Because yeah,
there's always an excuse.
One of them doesn't have a computer, the other one has a broken computer, but I think his computer is going to get fixed before the tournament, because he's getting his RAM back.
We have no computers, we have no practice.
No. But they do have Giga, so no matter what happens, they can go to Giga Internet Cafe, but I hope their computers don't crash there.
You cherry-picked your players, you don't pick us, we screwed this up, we have substitutes, something. I get the idea, There's always to be an excuse. You can't lose because you're worse. You have to lose because we're cheating or we DDoSed you or some other random thing.
Cool. Okay, well, again, thank you. And, yeah, we'll move on to those games on Sunday. Keep a lookout on the BarCraft New Zealand event page for this event. And if you guys are up in Auckland, by the way, I know probably none of you are, but if you want to get involved in this grand final match, we are going to do it at MC Internet Cafe. I'm going to be casting from there. You can come say hi, and we will have a whole bunch of chairs and a big screen, a big projector screen up there for you guys to watch all of the action, and we'll try and get everyone in the Internet Cafe involved. So it's going to be really cool. And
wow, that sounds sick.
Yeah, watch out for that. Watch out for the shoutcasting, and if you want a whole bunch of people to see it, do spread the channel if you want to. But it's not essential. I don't really give a crap. I'm just doing this for the whole general populace. But if there is anything different that you want me to do with the stream or something different that you want me to focus on while shoutcasting, do let me know. I want money, says GG Kevin. Well, yeah, that's pretty much GG for me because I'm poor as fuck. So, yeah. Oh well, see you guys, and yeah, again, thank you.
Oh, so do we write up the BIOS, or do you write up the BIOS?
I'll write up the BIOS, but if you guys want to contribute to the BIOS, send me an email, and that'd be really great for helping write it up, because I will mainly write it up based on this interview and on if I find any news over the internet, but send me any information that you want to chuck in there, and I might piece it all together. I might not look for anything on the internet if you send me information. That'll be great. That means my job's so much easier. My job. But yeah.
Well, considering you know nothing about us, you probably should consult us for the BIOS.
Yeah. So send me over a few things and give us a bit more insight on what I can do for your BIOS, and make you guys sound really epic.
Oh man, you don't have to make us sound epic. We already are.
Yeah.
It
just happens. It's in the paper. It's in the post. Oh well, bye.
See ya.
See ya. Bye, stream.